The Roman Empire was one of the most significant civilizations in world history, spanning over a millennium and leaving an indelible mark on Western civilization. Its legacy can be seen in our language, culture, political systems, and even in our modern-day infrastructure. The empire's rise to power was fueled by its military conquests, economic expansion, and political stability. Rome's military might be unmatched, and it conquered vast territories across Europe, Africa, and Asia. This expansion allowed Rome to control trade routes, which helped to fuel its economic growth. The empire also had a stable political system that provided a framework for effective governance and administration. However, despite its impressive achievements, the Roman Empire faced many challenges that ultimately contributed to its decline and eventual collapse. Internal factors such as political instability, economic decline, and social unrest undermined the empire's strength, while external threats from invading armies weakened its borders. In the end, the empire was unable to sustain itself and fell into decline, although its legacy lives on to this day. In this video, we will explore the key factors that contributed to the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, examining the empire's achievements, challenges, and eventual decline. We hope that this video will provide a comprehensive overview of this fascinating civilization and its legacy on world history. The rise of the Roman Empire. Rome began as a small city-state in central Italy, but through a combination of military conquest and strategic alliances, it gradually expanded its territory and influence. One of the most significant factors in the rise of the Roman Empire was its military might. Rome's armies were well-trained and disciplined, and they employed advanced tactics and weaponry. Over time, Rome conquered neighboring city-states and territories, building an empire that spanned much of the Mediterranean world. Another important factor in the rise of Rome was its economic expansion. As Rome conquered new territories, it gained control of valuable resources and trade routes. This allowed Rome to build a powerful economy based on trade, agriculture, and industry. The empire's wealth helped to finance its military campaigns and fund large-scale building projects such as aqueducts, roads, and public buildings. Political stability was also critical to the empire's rise. Rome's government was a complex system of elected officials, with a senate that provided a forum for debate and decision-making. Over time, the Roman Republic was replaced by the Roman Empire, with an emperor at its head. This change allowed for a more centralized and efficient government, which helped to strengthen the empire's rule. Finally, Rome's cultural achievements also contributed to its rise. The empire was home to a rich literary and artistic culture, with poets, playwrights, and historians producing works that are still read and studied today. Rome's architectural achievements were also impressive, with monumental structures such as the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the Forum still standing as symbols of the empire's power and sophistication. Golden Age of the Roman Empire. The Golden Age of the Roman Empire is typically considered to have been the period of the Pax Romana, which lasted from approximately 27 BC to 180 AD. This was a time of relative peace and stability, during which the empire was at the height of its power and influence. One of the key achievements of the Golden Age was the expansion of the Roman Empire. Under the leadership of figures such as Julius Caesar and Augustus, Rome conquered new territories and established itself as the dominant power in the Mediterranean world. This expansion brought new wealth and resources to the empire, which allowed for significant cultural and architectural achievements. Another important aspect of the Golden Age was the growth of Rome's economy. The empire was a major center of trade, with goods flowing in from all parts of the world. Rome's roads and aqueducts facilitated the movement of goods and people, and the empire's wealthy elite invested heavily in public works and infrastructure projects. Culturally, the Golden Age was a time of great achievement for the Roman Empire. Literature, art, and philosophy flourished, with writers such as Virgil, Ovid, and Seneca producing some of the most enduring works of Western civilization. The period was also marked by significant architectural achievements, such as the construction of the Colosseum and the Pantheon. In terms of governance, the Golden Age was characterized by a relatively stable and efficient system of government. Augustus established a centralized system of government that allowed for greater control and coordination across the empire, while the Senate provided a forum for debate and decision-making. The crisis and decline of the Roman Empire. The period from the 3rd to the 5th century AD saw a series of political, economic, and social challenges that ultimately led to the empire's collapse. One of the primary factors contributing to the crisis and decline of the Roman Empire was political instability. In the later stages of the empire, the emperor's power became increasingly centralized and authoritarian, leading to a series of weak and ineffective rulers. This weakened the government's ability to respond to external threats and internal challenges, such as economic decline and social unrest. Additionally, the empire's system of succession was often chaotic and violent, leading to frequent periods of civil war and instability. Economic decline was another significant factor in the empire's decline. Rome's economy had been built on conquest and expansion, but by the 3rd century AD, the empire had reached its maximum size and began to stagnate. Trade routes were disrupted, inflation was rampant, and taxes were high, which put a strain on the empire's finances. This economic decline made it difficult for Rome to fund its military and maintain its infrastructure, ultimately leading to a decline in the empire's military power and territorial control. Social unrest was also a contributing factor to the decline of the Roman Empire. As the economy weakened and taxes rose, there were frequent riots and uprisings among the lower classes. The empire's social structure was also characterized by extreme inequality, with a wealthy elite controlling much of the empire's wealth and power. This created a sense of dissatisfaction and unrest among the population, which was difficult for the government to control. External pressures also played a significant role in the decline of the Roman Empire. Invasions from barbarian tribes such as the Goths and Vandals weakened the empire's borders and depleted its military strength. The empire was also faced with challenges from rival powers such as the Sassanid Empire in the east and the Huns in the north. These external pressures placed a significant strain on the empire's military and resources, ultimately contributing to its collapse. The fall of the Roman Empire. Part 4 of our video focuses on the fall of the Roman Empire, which is generally dated to 476 AD with the deposition of the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus. The fall of the Roman Empire was the culmination of centuries of decline and crisis, and marked the end of one of the most powerful and influential civilizations in world history. One of the key factors that contributed to the fall of the Roman Empire was military weakness. As the empire became increasingly weakened by economic decline and social unrest, its military was unable to effectively defend against external threats. Barbarian invasions and raids began to occur with increasing frequency, and by the 5th century AD, the empire's western borders had been significantly weakened. This military weakness made it easier for barbarian tribes such as the Visigoths and Vandals to invade and conquer Roman territories. Another important factor in the fall of the Roman Empire was political instability. The Roman government had become increasingly centralized and authoritarian, which made it difficult for effective leaders to emerge and govern the empire. The emperor's power had become heavily dependent on the military and often involved violent power struggles and coups. The weakness of the government made it difficult for the empire to effectively respond to internal and external challenges. Economic decline also played a role in the fall of the Roman Empire. As the empire's economy stagnated and inflation soared, the government was unable to maintain its infrastructure or fund its military. This made it difficult for the empire to effectively govern its territories and defend against external threats. Social unrest was also a significant factor in the fall of the Roman Empire. As the empire became increasingly unequal and unjust, riots and uprisings became more common. The divide between rich and poor grew wider, and the government was unable to effectively address the concerns of the lower classes. Overall, the fall of the Roman Empire was the result of a complex interplay of factors, including military weakness, political instability, economic decline, and social unrest. While the empire had enjoyed centuries of power and influence, it was ultimately unable to adapt to the changing world around it, leading to its eventual collapse. The legacy of the Roman Empire, however, continues to be felt in numerous ways, from the spread of Christianity to the enduring influence of Roman law and language.